All right, well, let's get started. Welcome everybody to this Refersion Live webinar. My name is Nicole Highlander. I'm with the marketing team here at Refersion, and I'll be the moderator for today's discussion. The topic today is the art of attracting affiliates, episode 3, rapid growth recruitment strategies. So if that's what you're here for, you're in the right place. But before we get started, I have just a couple housekeeping items for you. Today's session will be recorded, so we'll be sure to send the recording to all who registered within 24 hours. If you did miss something, no worries. You can review or share with your colleagues later. Our intention is to spend about 40 minutes or so with our panelists and then open it up for questions. So if you have any questions while the panelists are speaking, please enter them into the Q&A window at any time, okay? And we'll answer those during the Q&A at the end. And we will have a question or two for you during this time, and we hope that you participate in those. This will help us to direct our conversations a little bit and for you to request information from us, right? We have some amazing people with us today, so let's kick off introductions here. Josh, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and Upsell It?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, Nicole, and the entire Refersion team. My name is Josh Modell, and I am with Upsell It. We are a conversion rate optimization technology and close partner to Refersion. We focus on helping to work with brands to help drive incremental sales, incremental revenue on traffic that is not converting, helping to identify visitors where there's the opportunity to drive an increased AOV, basket size, helping with the identification of anonymous visitors that make it on site, but for whatever reason are not converting, just overall helping to create a holistic and comprehensive conversion rate optimization strategy to help ensure that we're doing everything we can to boost conversion, to boost performance, and overall our top line revenue.
Fantastic. Thank you. I look forward to learning more about that too and hearing from you on this. Eugenia.
Hi, everyone. My name is Eugenia. So I am a publisher account director here at Refersion. That essentially means that I talk to affiliates all day, every day, trying to understand what their needs are, how they want to optimize with additional merchants, how to get in contact with some of you. If you ever have any questions, please reach out to me.
Excellent. Yes, very pivotal here at Refersion. Andre, welcome.
Hey guys, thanks Nicole. I'm Andre, been at Refersion for 5 years. I'm a technical support specialist, so I'm helping merchants with more technical requirements get set up to integrate their e-commerce store or their other use cases with Refersion. But also I just help regular old merchants get their accounts set up, figure out how to use Refersion, set up their affiliate program, give best practices and training, and then help them kind of like get the most out of the platform.
Also our radio voice. Welcome.
Yes, sometimes I do webinars. Thank you.
You do have a fantastic radio voice, Andre.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
This is going to be a great conversation. We have the affiliate perspective, and our reps from Refersion have helped hundreds, if not thousands, of brands with their affiliate programs. So I'm excited about this. I hope you are too. So a little bit about Refersion in case you're new to it. Building, tracking, and managing your affiliate program is complex. There's a lot of moving parts, and Refersion has built a platform that helps you manage each part of your program, from every type of affiliate, such as publishers, influencers, creators, ambassadors, whatever you want to call them, whatever segments of performance marketing you currently work with. And we want to help you with campaign management, things like custom commission structures and offers for each type of affiliate, attribution and first-party tracking, on-time payments. If you recall episode 1 of this series, we talked about our new feature, Unified Payments, data insights, integrations, and recruitment through our marketplace, and more. You'll see here that Refersion is trusted by thousands of brands and is a global industry leader, providing a robust affiliate, influencer, and ambassador platform solution, driving operational efficiencies, revenue, and key insights across your campaigns. And also, as you can see here, we have a direct integration with most major e-commerce platforms and makes it real easy to set up. All right, let's get to business. This is the third and final installation in our series, The Art of Attracting Affiliates, because affiliate marketing is a bit of an art, isn't it? It's a skill. Yeah. It's not like other channels where you simply put money in and things happen. It requires a lot of time and effort and finesse, and a lot of variables matter, like payments and commission structures and recruitment strategies, which is our topic for today. And I have to say, this is probably our most anticipated topic because finding the right affiliates for your brand can be tricky and sometimes daunting if you're just getting into it. So without further ado, let's get stuck in with a poll question. Let me find my poll. We'll launch that. Okay. We're going to be talking about growing affiliate programs today. So where are you in your affiliate journey? Are you ready to start recruiting? Do you already have a small cohort of affiliates and want to recruit more? Or maybe you're already running a great program and you want to keep up the growth. So let us know here. So far, it's turning out to be mostly number one, ready to start looking for affiliates, about 50% so far. We're almost done. We almost have most of the responses in. Okay, we're about 45% ready to start looking, about 43% that have a small but functioning group, and 14% have a thriving program and want to keep growing. So that's fantastic. We're going to go over all of it. So you're in luck. Whether you're just starting out or are already running, then that's fantastic. So we're going to start, since our audience is so diverse, we're going to take a crawl, walk, run approach. Okay, we're going to start with some of the basics on how to prepare for recruitment and how to find some of those first partners. Then we'll move on to walking, where we'll discuss the steps that brands can take to recruit them, so outreach. And then we'll discuss how you can create sort of a recruiting machine that continually grows your program and keeps affiliates happy to promote your brand. I'm going to stop sharing right there so we can see our shining faces, or your shining faces. No. And we'll move things around a little bit. So let's do a little stage setting, because you can't really start recruiting until you know yourself, right? You have to do a little prep work. Andre, I'm going to tag you first. What should brands know before they start looking for affiliates?
Yeah, thanks, Nicole. So, what you just said, knowing yourself is very important. So, you definitely want to have a goal when you're starting an affiliate program. And in general, since we're specifically talking about attracting affiliates and, finding affiliates, we'll focus on that. So you are going to ask yourself, how do I find the right affiliates for my program? You there's a lot of options for you to go for, but you want to prioritize quality over quantity. You don't want to just like reach out to as many affiliates as possible and kind of like, send a copy and paste cold email. That's really not going to work. It does take a lot of time to, personalize your approach when reaching out to potential affiliates, but that's going to yield the best results in the end. You want to find people that are actually a good fit for you. Their audience already resonates with your ideal audience. That's a good way to start. You can try, depending on your product or your niche, try finding other people that are in the same vertical as you and compare what you're doing, how they're running their affiliate program, what kind of commission they're giving. If they're already working with potential, affiliates that could potentially be yours, do a bit of, market research to like figure out, what would be the best path for you forward.
So know your ICP, your ideal customer profile, what the person who normally shop at your store looks like, feels like, acts like, where they shop, that kind of thing. Really understand that, and then look for folks who are also looking for that same audience.
Yeah, exactly. Presumably you're already marketing your brand to customers, right? So you would treat an affiliate program in the same way. And especially if you're just starting, affiliate programs can be very there's just a lot of moving parts. So if you're just trying to get the ball rolling, we don't usually recommend, setting it and forgetting it, but there are passive ways you could promote your program, for sure. So you could share the affiliate program on your socials, make it, accessible on your website and like the navigation bar or something, just have a page about your affiliate program. Mention the program in your post sales marketing, any of those ways that you would be talking to your customers, you could talk to your affiliates as well, so they can easily join your program.
I I have seen a lot of people that haven't that start with Refersion or have an affiliate program, and they're wanting to find affiliates, but you can't find their affiliate program on their website, and you haven't been able to find any mention of an affiliate program. So even people who are like loyal customers and really love your product, they have no idea. So you want to make those things obvious, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of the maybe a lot of merchants that start their programs, they don't really know how much bandwidth they have. I'm sure Eugenia can speak to this because she talks to affiliates all day, but you, want to have a clear and open channel of communication with your affiliates, and you want to be able to support them. And that, that's going to take some resources, um, to like, engage with them and keep promoting for you on their mind. And other things, they might just need random like help and support or training. So you have to consider how much resources you have available as well in terms of not only recruiting potential affiliates, but supporting your existing ones.
Good point.
One thing I would also say too, Nicole, is that you want to be where your competitors at. So like if you have a couple of competitors, maybe create yourself like a list of like 3 to 5 competitors. Search them up on good old Google, right? Look them up, see where they're being posted at. Most likely where they're being posted at is where they might have an affiliate program available with that particular affiliate for you to reach out. And affiliates love promoting you right next to your competitor, right? They love comparing like prices, they love comparing content. It's one of those things that can also help you cannibalize that traffic as well.
Good point. Absolutely good point. I was going to ask a question. I forgot. Yeah, excellent point. Oh yeah, ChatGPT. Like you can go to ChatGPT and ask it, who's promoting for this brand and this brand and this brand and see what it comes up with. There's a lot of information to be found out there, especially with AI search. And TikTok and Instagram. Like really go out and look for them. Right? Let's see here. Eugenia, do you have any recommendations for steps brands can take to identify potential affiliates?
Yes, of course. So like piggybacking on what Andre said earlier, it's like once you decide what your niche is, once you know where your competitors are at, then you have to just basically start with the outreach. You have to understand too that like these affiliates, these like larger publishers, they're also a business. So essentially you have to reach out to them like via LinkedIn. Like I get a lot of my outreach via LinkedIn. They have a full-time person, business development people that are handling these relationships on a one-to-one basis. Like that's why we have conversations with Josh over here, where he's like managing relationships with a publisher such as Upsell It and is able to tell us like who their ideal merchants are to work with as well. And we can use that information to essentially match you with them. So essentially you want to be in different facets based on where your business is at. But you also want to understand that like it does take a little bit of time and outreach and also like building relationships and attending conferences as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
And there's,
to add on to that, sorry.
yeah, no, please do.
I think just to take a step back too and think about, your affiliate program, it should be a part of your entire business's marketing and sales goals, right? It's just like, you know, to help you contextualize that. So in a way, your affiliates are kind of like salespeople. So, if you have people on your sales team, you need to train them and like, ideally support them in order to best sell your product. So I think that's, how you can kind of think about this.
Yeah, good point. And we really didn't talk, I think we may have talked about it in other webinars, but to reiterate, I mean, you want to make sure that you're really cultivating a good relationship with these new people. If like an employee, you're going to onboard them, make sure they have all the tools that they need, that they have the education about your brand, anything that you feel is important for your brand being portrayed out in the world, make sure that they have everything they need. They don't have to dig or, make things up on their own. You can help them, you can support them on that kind of thing. And also, all the negotiation about commissions and rewards and that sort of thing, make sure that you're prepared in advance to make sure that what you're offering is attractive to them. There's a lot of people out there looking for affiliates, y'all. What about matching programs or other services like agencies? Are those good
Yes.
options?
Agencies are a good way to also get some recruitment in. If you're a brand that doesn't have enough resources on your side to manage your program, you don't want to put in the time, an agency is a good opportunity for you to lean on another resource for you to get those relationships in. Like agencies already have pre-built those relationships. And so it's a lot easier for you to transition that over and get them to come onto your program rather quickly instead of you doing it on a one-to-one basis. Matchmaking is also another one of them, like getting in contact with the networks that you're working with. So like I manage relationships. I speak with merchants all the time. I also speak with affiliates a lot. And essentially once I find out that there's a fit, I try to introduce them together, have a conversation and see what works from there. So yeah, essentially like there's many different ways that you can find resources in order for you to get those affiliates that you're looking for.
Right on. And Josh, what on your side, what should brands consider before they consider outreach?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. And I think both Andre, I know Andre had mentioned it, Eugenia had mentioned it as well, is, it's almost the polar opposite of, a lot of other, marketing channels such as paid, where this is very much relationship based. And, the merchants and advertisers that we've been with for many, many years, I mean, they're almost like an extended part of our family. And we truly mean that. And that's, when I see really well-run programs, that's traditionally how the affiliate and advertiser partnership is working. Now, when it comes to different things that we typically see, because we're obviously looking at it from the publisher side, is of course understanding synergies and fit is of course number one. We see this all the time with brands that will come to us and offer, we get probably 10 to 20 requests a day across all different channels and networks of brands that would like to work with us. And it's clear a lot of them probably haven't done much research, and like you mentioned, it's just a copy and paste template. There's really not much thought put into it. And understanding, number one, are you a promotional based brand? Are you more of a luxury based brand? What are you trying to accomplish? Is it more content driven? Again, there's so many different types of affiliates out there, and the number of types of affiliates are growing really day by day, week by week. And so understanding, number one, what is your affiliate strategy? Starting there and then starting to work back. Okay, well, based off of that, these are the types of people that I want promoting my product. Because remember, in the affiliate space, these are people essentially acting as an extension of your brand. And so you want to make sure that the makeup of their site, if it's a review site, or if it's a content blog, or if it's an influencer, or if it's a technology partner like us, you want to make sure that the way they position themselves aligns with, of course, how you position your brands. One thing that I will say is, while the majority of brands that we work with do come through referrals, we have an incredible relationship with Refersion, and many agencies, like they mentioned, agencies, a fantastic resource if you just don't have the internal kind of bandwidth to manage and truly build and scale a program. And some incredible ones out there. So while the majority of them do come from referrals, just because they understand the power of a technology partner like us to help scale a brand and an affiliate program, we also do our own outreach. I'm also working with me and my team, and we'll go and we'll check out a website and say, oh, what are the synergies? Is this a brand that looks like they can be a good fit? Just using a random example, we work with a ton of fashion, apparel, consumer, goods, electronics, brand. And so, on our off times, our team might, spend, 10, 15, 20 minutes looking at, different websites. What is the first thing we're looking at? We're looking to see, do they have a section on their affiliate program? What are the terms that they're offering? Are there any specifics that we're picking up on that we look, wow, we can really build an incredibly effective campaign around this? And, not enough brands dedicate resources to building an affiliate page on their site. And I would say that's one of the first things that you should be doing when you're building out your website is, especially if affiliate's a priority, which it should be for every brand, is make sure that that's something that's visible, and that if somebody does want to try to seek you out in terms of forming a partnership, you're not making it really hard to figure out where you are. So that's something that I wanted to add on as well.
Brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. That's great. So the brand should know their audience. They should make sure that they know what resources they have available. They should know what their goals are going into it. They can find resources such as agencies and matching programs and networks to help out a little bit. But generally speaking, it's about relationships and being prepared to engage in and nurture those relationships. So we're standing on wobbly feet now. Um, what steps can brands take to recruit? So outreach. Andre, I'm going to ping you again. If a brand is reaching out to individuals or smaller affiliate businesses, what can they do to reach out? What tools should they have available to them?
Sure. So, I'm sure Eugenia and Josh are about to, provide you with some resources on like actual tools that you would utilize to find potential affiliates. Because it's going to be tough if you're just like out there like scrolling through Instagram or TikTok and just trying to find content creators that are a good fit for you. But that's definitely going to happen. You ideally already have some people in mind. Again, whether it's, just you for your own brand or creators that are already promoting brands that are similar to yours. You might want to get in front of those people. So, of course, it depends on what platform they're on. Try to reach out to them on their most suitable, channel. And again, personalize your approach. You do not, just want to send like a copy and paste cold email. Um, Depending on like the size of the person you're trying to, talk to, they could be getting a lot of cold emails, like even every day. So you want to, do your best to stand out. Again, personalize, try to like, relate yourself to the creator or compliment some work they've created. What do you guys have in common? Do you share some kind of like story or cause or something like that? Um, Try to like, paint yourself as attractive as possible. And it depends again on like the resources and bandwidth you have, because a lot of the times you're going to have to reach out more than once to, potential, affiliates. It's going to take a lot of nurturing. You might have to reach out to them on multiple channels. Something that someone I forget the partner, but they were a publisher partner, and he said, "Don't get discouraged," which that has always stood with me. You can't get discouraged when you're trying to like reach out to affiliates. Just keep trying. Just keep putting yourself out there. That's kind of like the best tip I can give.
It's always hard to get that first date.
Yes.
But keep trying. Yeah. Remember, affiliates get a lot of approaches every day. Josh, you said at least probably 20 a day. So, and that's probably easy. So yeah, keep trying. There's a lot of traffic out there. It's like getting through the spam emails, I guess.
Yeah, and like obviously affiliates want to promote products, right? They're gonna, Black Friday is coming up. Everyone knows that, there's a lot of opportunity there. So you can do the best you can to position yourself.
Right. And one thing I would also say before you look into like actually going in and recruiting is having an understanding of what your budget is like. There's many different forms of affiliate relationship, many different partner types, and each partner type does require a different type of budget that you have to either bring upfront or you have to increase CPA for. So just have an understanding in terms of like how much you're willing to spend. There are some affiliates that have minimums, right? Requirements that they want you to meet before they decide to pursue a relationship with you. And that's because they want to make sure that the resources that they're putting in internally is going to be worth it in the end for them in terms of return on investment for the brand and not just for themselves as well, right? So that's something that's really important to consider. Another thing that's important to consider when looking for affiliates is attending conferences, right? We like similar to what Josh had mentioned earlier, we're a very, very relationship-based industry. We meet each other at a lot of conferences. I've made a lot of new relationships at these conferences, whether you're going to Affiliate Summit West or Affiliate Summit East or PI Live. It's very important that you meet the publishers where they're at and have in-person conversations with them so that you can put a face to the name and also build that relationship, build that trust, and have an understanding in terms of like where you want to move forward from there. But I don't know if you have more to add to that, Josh.
I think, just expanding upon one point is, having an open mind and being flexible with how you work with your affiliates. Not all affiliates are the same. We can spend, the next hour just talking through the different types of affiliates and sub-affiliates. But I think the point being is that every affiliate has the same goal, no matter what type of affiliate they are. They want to drive incremental revenue and sales for the brand so that it could be the beginning of a long-standing, mutually successful partnership. That is the end all be all for every single affiliate. Now, how we get there, every affiliate is structured a little bit differently. Us as an example, being a technology that is a performance-based partner, we absorb a lot of cost when we're building out a partnership. We have to build out designs, we have to develop everything. It has to be QA'd. We have management, we have success teams. And so we do build cohesive teams around our partners. And so before we even push a campaign live, you can imagine the resources and revenue or at least costs associated with that. And so we do typically will have not necessarily upfront costs or fees, but minimums that we're looking for. But I promise, and I say this to every single brand that we work with, those are there for a reason. They're built out with a very specific algorithm in place to help us ensure that we're not losing money, but also most importantly, to ensure that this is incredibly profitable for our partners and allows us to kick off the partnership on the right footing. Especially when we're not operating on contracts, which, as everybody knows, the affiliate space is traditionally a month-to-month partnership. We're not signing, year-long, 2-year-long contracts, which, a lot of brands might be used to with maybe outside vendors. This is very much a pay-to-play or a performance-based relationship that you're building. And so just having the flexibility in knowing that not every relationship that you build in the affiliate space is going to be on the same terms. It's not like, okay, we're going to set a 10% CPA and every single one of our partners is going to operate on that. Well, that's just not the case because different partners operate in different capacities, and just be flexible when it comes to that. I promise you, when the right affiliate is able to execute, it's going to be incredibly profitable for you and the brand.
I'm going to put in a little plug for our previous webinar in the series. We did talk a lot about commission structures and how that really affects how approachable the brand is and how the affiliates are going to receive it. So, and we do go over pretty well the different types of affiliates and the different types of commissions they may or may not expect, especially during the holidays and that sort of thing. So when we send out the recording, I will send out the link to the entire series so that if anybody wants to go back and review some of that information, you can do so there too, okay? As far as still doing the outreach part, what other options are there for people to reach out? I know Andre talked about, going through their preferred channel of communication. So their LinkedIn or their DMs or whatever, or email, that sort of thing. What about like a network or a platform?
Yes, so you can absolutely look through your network or your platform. Most of them have like discovery tools. So publisher discovery tools are very important. You can go through those tools and really look and filter based on like the type of relationships that you're looking for. It ranges from like content to lifestyle or in technology partners. So you do have that option to really look at the links, Google them and see if they're a partner that you might want to consider working with, and then do the outreach directly on the platform as well.
And just to quickly elaborate, some of the best outreach that we've ever got was directly through the network, where they essentially did their research and they came with like a really compelling message, something along the lines of, hey, Upsell It, we saw that you were working with brands A, B, and C. We had a chance to go through their site. We're really impressed with the experience that you've created for them. This is exactly what we need. We've been struggling. We're trying to increase our conversion rate. We're seeing a lot of drop off mid funnel or deep funnel. We'd love to explore talking about ways that we could potentially incorporate that within our workflow. I promise you, if you craft an email like that, you're going to get a response. If I get that, that is going to be a high priority for us because number one, I see that they did their research. And number two, I can already tell without a shadow of a doubt that they, are serious about what they're talking about. If you're doing research, then you're kind of referring that back within your and it doesn't matter where you're communicating, but let's just use through the network as an example. You're going to have a very high response rate, and I would imagine you're going to be building a lot of great relationships as opposed to what unfortunately we see 90% of the time is 1,000 messages that are just copy and paste are going out, and there's absolutely nothing to differentiate them from one another.
Sure. kind of like sales almost, like you really want to
100%.
do your research and approach them in a way that makes you and sell yourself, really sell your brand. Don't be afraid to talk about how you're awesome and why they might want to promote you. What about, well, Eugenia, you do third-party representatives like yourself to reach out on behalf of brands.
Yes. So like I mentioned before, I'm having conversations with affiliates all day, every day. I'm learning to understand exactly what their nuances are, like what is their highest performing verticals, like what makes sense for them and the kind of merchants that they want to work with. So once I have that information in, sometimes I'll send them a list, right? Like here are some of the merchants that I think might be a fit, or here are some of the merchants that we have. Let me know which one is a fit for you. Once I get an idea of like what affiliates or who affiliates want to work with, I then reach out to these merchants to see if there's a mutual exclusive relationship, right? If I can connect them two to work together, if they can then invite them into the platform and then start the relationship and see how it works. As Josh has mentioned before, affiliate is a very performance-based industry. It's a pay-to-play type of industry as well. So it doesn't necessarily hurt to accept them, right? It doesn't hurt to accept them. It's based on performance at the end of the day. And a lot of it is really trial and error, right? Sometimes you may not always know where your product has the audience that resonates the most. You may think you do. For example, I had once a investment brand that thought that they were going for older individuals and actually found out that younger people were more interested in investing now and had to change up their strategy to market towards a different type of audience. So it's very important to do a bit of trial and error and be very open and diversify with the partners that you're working with and not just stick to one.
That's a good point. Speaking of that, what about some caveats to reaching out to affiliates? I know that just because you're inviting them doesn't mean they'll accept.
Right, right. So
Just
back to like Andre's original point, be patient, don't stop trying. Sometimes, you know, you may not be speaking to the right point of contact. Sometimes is a no, but not a no for like ever. It's a not right now. And I've had so many like conversations with affiliates that like they're pivoting and they're constantly changing strategies, or maybe they already are booked up for Q4 and are not looking for any additional relationships at this time. So essentially, you want to be patient and try to get in as early as possible. But if they do say no, you can still come back and revisit and also come up with a different type of offer for them that might be more compelling.
sure.
Yeah, and just to quickly elaborate, I think Eugenie hit the nail on the head. And, for example, right now, we're a couple of weeks away from Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and we have a very, very specific hard new partner freeze that's coming into play. We don't have a choice. We have over 500 brands that we're managing, and most of them are running very specific and compelling offers for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And you can imagine how much time that takes to update for that many brands. And so we just don't have the bandwidth to bring on new brands during that time frame. And so if brands are reaching out to us during a couple week period of time, it's not a matter of it's not a great fit. It's just a matter of the timing is not right. And that really goes both ways as well. There'll be brands that we're in talks with, or that we're in the process of working out a affiliate partnership with, and they're in a code freeze. They just don't have the ability to do it. Doesn't mean that the intent or the excitement behind the partnership's not there. It's just a timing thing. And so to her point, keep at it. And a lot of the times it's just a matter of the timing being right.
I also wanted to echo something, Josh, that you said about being, flexible with the commission rates. That's ideal, right? Like if you have a successful affiliate program, you don't just have everyone in the same bucket. You've segmented your affiliates and different people are earning different commission structures, but it depends on where you are in the stage of your business and your program. If you don't, and depending on who you're trying to work with, if you reach out to some of these bigger publishers or influencers, these people that get a lot of offers every day, they probably have some system in place where they want, like an upfront payment or a contract or something. And you might not be able to accommodate that. So it could be better if you're getting started to target like smaller publishers or influencers, people that have, maybe smaller audiences, but they're less diluted. They're going to resonate better with your niche. They're going to be more excited to work with you. They're not going to have a lot of strict requirements about, upfront payments or stuff like that. So just something to keep in mind about like using your time and your resources effectively.
Sure. Make sure that you know, like if you're just getting started in the affiliate space, you may not right away be able to get on Wirecutter. Like you need to be reasonable about where to start. Start small with smaller affiliates and publishers. Use your customers as ambassadors. Like ambassadors can absolutely be a way to use affiliate marketing to grow your presence and your brand awareness. So, like you can start small and grow as your program grows. So absolutely keep that in mind. Anything else on the outreach piece? Okay, we talked about not doing copy paste, but just in case you're just getting started and you're like, I don't know what to write, I'm putting into the chat a link to the Refersion recruiting templates. It gives you like an email and a text message to start with. Now, we've already talked about make sure it's personalized. Don't just copy and paste this for everybody. Do your research, use these wisely, okay?
And just very
yeah.
quickly, Nicole, you can take a template and use 90% of it for everybody. It's the first and really the end that you want to personalize. Just something that's going to help you stand out, that showed you did some research, that shows that you truly see value in this partnership and that you're not just sending the same thing out to everyone. Nothing wrong with, being efficient and having a great template to work off of. Just, do a little bit more than just sending that out 1,000 times.
Totally fair. Totally fair.
Yeah, I love the example that you used where someone reached out, citing your past, partnerships and stuff like that. That kind of thing definitely goes a lot. Like you read that email, like, wow, this person did their research. They know what they're talking about. They took the time. They're excited about this opportunity, and no way around it. That takes a lot of time to send, curated messages like that. But I think that's good, practice to follow.
100%. But, I think most brands, especially ones that are newer to affiliate, would rather have, 5 or 10 incredibly strong quality partnerships than 100 where there's not a lot of traction happening in. And that should also be the focus as well early on.
Yeah, focus on your higher performing folks.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Okay. Now we have some momentum going. We're recruiting well. How does a brand build a recruiting machine that continually grows your program and keeps affiliates happy to work for you? Now, Josh, I know this is sort of where your folks excel. Tell us a little bit about diversifying and optimizing your channel.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you think about the affiliate channel, high level, what do we think about? Looking for ways to get new eyeballs on our website. That is the crux of affiliate. How do I leverage other people to help drive traffic to our site? Whether it's an influencer, whether it's content creators, whether it's, comparison shopping sites, whatever it might, cashback. But we also know that, especially in today's day and age, it is an incredibly competitive environment out there, which is why we're starting to see so many what we would consider non-traditional, affiliate partners, and many of them are now becoming traditional. For example, us in the conversion optimization space. 15 years ago, very much non-traditional. Today, has become very, very important for the vast majority of brands out there because it helps your self-differentiate. And one of the analogies I like to use is, the traffic that we're driving to our site is only as valuable as our ability to convert on. And so that's where we come in as a partner is how do we ensure that the traffic, and again, this is not just independent affiliate, but primarily affiliate, we're doing everything we possibly can to put compelling and strategic and personalized messaging in front of them when they make it on our site. Because oftentimes we only have one chance to convert this customer. And they're on our site and they're either going to make a decision or not. And this is especially true. We see this all the time with the prevalence of marketplaces. Amazon is a great example of that. And so with that being said, having a partner like ourselves, and again, there's a lot of other non-traditional affiliates, besides ourselves that are out there that are incredible as well. But having a tool or having tools in place that allow you to capitalize on the traffic once it's on your site is going to allow you to go from a 1% conversion rate to a 3%, 4%, 5% conversion rate. And just getting the way that we work, just like every other affiliate, is exactly the same. We want to understand what your goals, what your pain points are. Are you struggling with deep funnel abandonment? Are you struggling with people are making it to your site and they're bouncing off really quickly without interacting with any products? Are you having an AOV or a cart size, issue with a specific segment of your traffic, or just overall? And then we can start to get into the nitty gritty of, okay, well, how are we going to solve this? What specific strategies and tactics can we leverage? Do we know, based off of our, success working in the, if you're a fashion brand in the fashion apparel space for the past 20 years, is going to allow us to go from a 2% conversion rate to a 5% conversion rate. And again, that's the approach that we take with all of our partners. And of course, what makes us unique, we're an affiliate. And so our success is directly tied to the success we're able to drive for brands. And so while it's non-traditional in the sense of we're not driving traffic to the site, the end goal is exactly the same. How do we leverage the affiliate channel to increase sales, to increase new to file revenue, and ultimately our top line that we're bringing in?
Wow, that sounds incredibly valuable. A lot of work that I'm pretty sure I wouldn't want to do by myself.
It's fun. We love it. We love what we do. We really do.
I'm glad that's it. It shows. It shows.
One thing for sure, the Upsellit team loves to have fun. Like, I've known most people on that team for a couple of years now, and they definitely enjoy everything they do, and they definitely enjoy working with all types of merchants.
Awesome. And Andre, I know that you work with a lot of merchants on a regular basis in the Refersion platform. What would you recommend that they do to make sure that their affiliates are engaged and wanting to bring on more affiliates? Like, what would you recommend?
Yeah, so one thing that I can't I know we've already talked about it, but I can't, recommend it enough is communicating with your affiliates regularly, because like it's so often that I like talk to merchants and they have like successful programs, or they're getting started, but like their main focus is just like finding new affiliates without like, and they have like no real clear communication channel with their existing affiliates kind of like at all, which is like crazy to me. Like I feel like if you just have some kind of, um, nice like curated welcome flow to like make them feel involved, give them like a gentle reminder about who you guys are, give them some tips on how you want them to promote, make them feel included, and then just like, keep in touch with them. Like even if you're not doing some kind of, seasonal incentive for, Black Friday, which you probably should, but just obviously it's like a big holiday. You want to let them know what's going on. Do you have any just like store sales going on, products? That kind of thing will definitely keep promoting for you on the affiliate's mind. You don't want people to go through all that trouble to join your program and then they just kind of forget they even did that, and they forget you're in your program. So communication is just as important as trying to find new affiliates.
100%, just very quickly, because I can't agree more. I can't even count the amount of times where we've started a relationship with a brand, things have gone incredibly well. We're seeing a strong lift in sales, and then they become content. Despite there being so much opportunity to iterate, expand, from the initial campaigns that we're building out. And so 100% remain, in contact. It doesn't have to be daily or even weekly, but, even once a quarter, at minimum, because there's going to be opportunity to grow. There's going to be opportunity to expand upon what you've already built, no matter what type of affiliate it is. And so I completely agree. Maintain relationships, foster them, nurture them. Again, it doesn't take that long to, send one email out a quarter, or, if you can do it more often, obviously the more the better. But yeah, there's absolutely so much, revenue that I see being left on the table simply because brands are, becoming complacent and not working to optimize the relationship that they've already built.
Absolutely. I see a lot of folks that are newish, and they'll have 80 or 100 affiliates in their program. And they're like, I just don't understand why they're not driving traffic. And we're like, well, have you talked to them lately? And they're like, what? Like, you need to make, these are part of your team now. They're like, consider that you're managing a team. I mean, you wouldn't just let them go off into the ether and hope that they do something.
Yeah.
You want to communicate with them, give them incentives to continue growing. Give them incentives to get you new affiliates too. They probably know other people in the industry. They could probably help you grow your team. What do you think, Eugenie?
And that's definitely for sure. I think like once, so I get this a lot where brands come to me and say like, okay, like my affiliates are not making me that much sales anymore, and I need new affiliates. And that shouldn't always be the case. Like, newer affiliates doesn't necessarily mean more sales, right? There's a lot of different ways where you can optimize with a partner. There's a lot of different ways where you can reach out and say like, hey, like I've noticed that we're at a cap here. Like, what can we do? There's so many offerings and so many placements and so many ways that your partner can help you grow with them, that like you just have to explore that, right? You have to ask, you have to, ask them for their media kits. Like, hey, can I see your media kits? Media kits are very important, right? They offer so much knowledge and so much insight into what an affiliate can offer you, right? It's not just like they switch out the links for you or whatever the case may be. Sometimes they might have newsletters on top of content that they do on site. Sometimes they may have retargeting skills available, or like even SMS and text messaging and social media. Like, you can get on their own social media, and that can bring you additional like affiliates or influencers or anything of that case. So it's very important to talk to them, ask them for their media kits, ask them how else they can work together, ask them to give you a proposal for optimization purposes and see what you get.
That's excellent. We're getting close to time for our panel discussion. I definitely want to leave time for questions. Before we move on, I wanted to offer the audience another link in the chat. It's Upsell Its Capabilities document. So give that a look if you're interested in working with Upsell It. That's a nice little resource, and I'm sure they would be happy to offer you more information, and we'll get to that too in the future. Do you guys have any other things that you would want to add as regarding an established affiliate program manager building a machine to continually recruit? Okay.
I'll say that, just to go back to the, the communication point, it definitely depends on, your resources. Like, basically all like really successful, merchants that I'm speaking with have a person whose job it is to run the affiliate program. And sometimes it's like multiple people. So, it depends on where you are in your business. If you have the resources to do something like that, or, sometimes I see, businesses that like their social media person does the affiliate program. Um, whatever the case may be, like in order to grow with you have to grow with your program, so allocate the resources and time accordingly. Also what Eugenia was saying too, more affiliates doesn't necessarily mean more sales. I think setting goals and figuring out how to get there is important. If you want to reach X amount of sales and you're like a little bit under that per month, well, maybe you could just get one big affiliate that drives a bunch of sales, or, get all of your existing affiliates. If they all just drove one additional sale a month, that would reach your goal too, right? So there's different ways that you can, reach the goals that you're setting.
Yeah, and I'll kind of wrap up and add, with the old adage, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And what I mean by this, and this is typically for, brands that have, established, programs that are really looking to grow and scale. And, oftentimes I'll see, the CEO or the CMO trying to manage the affiliate channel. And, it's just very clear that they're spread so thin, and they don't have the resources or bandwidth to do it. And that's where, hiring someone where this is their world, this is their area of expertise. They've built a strong network, of publishers, over the last 10 years, or an agency that, has, hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of relationships and different partners that they could potentially bring to you. So once you do get to that point, having someone that can be dedicated specifically to the channel, and not feeling like just because you can do it, doesn't necessarily mean that that's the right use of your time. We know how hard it is to grow and scale a business. Affiliate is just one small piece of that. It's an important piece, but it is only one piece. And so having and building the right team and resources around that, far and away, is when we see brands that are successfully running really great programs, there's almost always, in fact, I'd say 100% of the time, there's a team in some capacity, whether in-house, or outsourced through an agency.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point. Affiliate is probably the most lucrative channel. Like, you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck from affiliate marketing, but it's not a set it and forget it thing. It's an involved, nurtured, constant attention type of channel. And yeah, that requires resources. And remember, doesn't mean that if you're small, you can't do it. You just have to make sure that you know what your goals are and what you're capable of in that particular part of your growth. That brings us to the close of the planned questions, but we'd love to answer yours. So if you haven't already, please start entering those in the Q&A field. I have seen a couple in the chat too, but we'll get to all of them as we go. Before we get into those questions, while you guys are putting those questions in, we have another poll for you guys real quick. Oh, launch. Yeah, there we go. Would you like to speak with any of our panelists? Would you like to talk to Josh at Upsell It to talk about partnership? Would you like to speak with Refersion to discuss our platform, or Eugenia to talk about setting you up with or introducing you to some publishers? Or would you like to speak maybe about some agencies or services to help you grow your program? So you can request all of them if you want to. You can, it's a multiple choice. So I'll give you a couple of seconds on there. Right. So speaking of partners and Josh, make sure to visit their website at us.upsellit.com. And you might want to write down Josh's email so that you can reach out to him for a personalized conversation about your goals. But they definitely do a lot of amazing work and can help you optimize your program and really get into the details that, like a lay person like myself probably wouldn't even think about.
Yeah. One thing very quickly, Nicole, I'll add, if there's anyone that's just getting started, or, they're very new to this affiliate space, we're more than happy to, either myself or someone from our team, just to run through and do an audit and just provide you some ideas. Again, this is something that we do all the time. We work, like I mentioned, with nearly 600 brands. And so we have a pretty good idea and understanding of what specific strategy and tactics are going to work for a brand that's just getting started. And so if you just want somebody just to, have another set of eyes to run an audit and to provide some ideas, feel free to reach out, and I'd be more than happy to, have someone, either myself or like I mentioned, someone from our team, work with you on that.
That's super generous. Thank you. That's awesome. Great resource. Also, Refersion offers a couple ways to learn more about our platform. Every other Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, we host a live demo of Refersion, and if you're lucky, you'll get Andre's smooth voice on one of those. You can see the platform, learn best practices, and have a chance to ask any questions of our hosts. They're all absolutely live. It's just a one-to-many kind of demo. We also have a weekly live Q&A where you can jump in and ask technical questions, if you have them, of our support team. So just aim your phone's camera at either one of those QR codes to get those links to sign up. I'll leave that for a second because I fidget with my phone usually for like 5 minutes before I can figure out where the buttons are. All right, now it's our Q&A time. So please continue to add your questions to the box. I did see one in the chat that I'll start with, and then I'll get to the ones in the Q&A. Oh, where's the chat?
It's on the side. You want me to read it?
Yeah. Could you? Because I lost it.
I got you. So the first question said, what platforms don't charge monthly fees to find affiliates? I think this question is pretty interesting. I'm not aware of any platforms that charge monthly fees to find affiliates. And I've worked at like 2 platforms prior. Normally when you pay your price, we just work together and try to find it for you. I don't know if anyone else here has like a different opinion on that.
I was just going to say, I think it goes back to the, just because you can doesn't mean you should. I mean, there's brands out there that completely run their own affiliate channel, 100% in-house. It's a lot of resources. Something has to be custom built. But again, there's a reason why, 99% of, probably 99.9% of brands, leverage a network such as Refersion, is because what you're getting out of it is exponentially more than what you're putting into it. And when I say exponentially, like I truly mean that. So I think that's what the question is. Is there like a free platform where I can be connected? And yeah, that's I could be misinterpreting, but that's just the kind of what I gathered out of that question.
Okay, that sounds good. And I hope we answered your question, Rich. I believe
Yeah,
we asked it.
Yeah, if we didn't, you can feel free to clarify.
I say you meant what agency? I mean, typically, agencies have an upfront like monthly fee. Technically, I'm not too sure how agency pricing is set up, but it doesn't like include like, oh, this is monthly for us finding affiliates. It's just to manage your program for you.
There are a couple of agencies that are truly CPA only agencies, meaning that their entire business model is structured off of performance based. You're welcome to reach out to me, and I'm happy to make some introductions if that's something that you're interested in. Traditionally those are going to be smaller brands that are just getting started. But yeah, if that's the question, feel free to either reach out to the Refersion team and they can connect, or directly.
Yeah, he said yes. So I think you got it on the nail, Josh.
Perfect.
Perfect.
I can't tell you that Refersion customers can reach out to us. We can introduce you to agencies that can help you build your program with and make it a little easier on the pocketbook. Or if you would like to be introduced, please reach out to us and we can introduce you to one of our partners.
Yeah, and we also have one of our partners actually on they answered the questions.
Oh,
Yeah. So yeah, they said it's all part of their monthly retainer. So definitely reach out, Rich, if you are able to. Another question said, hi there. My company has such a small following on social, less than 600 on Instagram, only 35 on TikTok, doesn't want to spend money on ads, and only wants to send products for content instead of doing any paid promotions. Do you guys have any tips on how to actually get anyone interested, or are we a lost cause?
Well, I would say it would depend on what is your actual product. That would help give us some context. One thing that we didn't really touch on when you're trying to find potential affiliates is you can be open-minded depending on your product. Like if you're like a nutrition brand or something, as an example, presumably everyone cares about their nutrition and their health, right? So you don't have to just reach out to lifestyle, creators or like lifestyle like websites. Anyone that has like a voice or content that resonates with you, you can reach out and build that potential partnership. Um, I might be misunderstanding part of your question if you're saying you don't want to like pay commission, you only want to send product, or because I actually don't speak to that many merchants that send product for like promotion like they just have their offer and people earn commission based on their performance. So maybe that's good news for you. You don't really need to send your product to people that often if you want them to promote for you. Um, but yeah, I would say try to keep an open mind, work with people that, you think are a good fit. Um, and then, like do your best to nurture those relationships.
Yeah, it sounds more of like they don't want to do any paid, like additional paid promotion. So like they want to just work slowly on like CPA, and then instead of a paid promotion, they just want to send in a product, which is definitely still possible. I think the strategy that you should focus on is on the crawl aspect of it, where you're gonna have to do the one-to-one outreach to find those smaller publishers and smaller influencers that are willing to take product and replace in place of like actual paid promotions.
Yeah, probably going to be more on the nano influencer side.
Oh, so if you're saying, yeah, if you're saying that, customers are a great place to go with that, a referral program. Those people are already buying from you, right? They are a fan of your brand, so they potentially have the best things to say about you over anyone. So that could be a good way to do it, or just pay people to store credit.
Yeah, exactly. Do have one more question in the Q&A. I
Do that.
work in a very controversial industry, firearms and firearms education and policy. I have a difficult time with censorship, shadow banning, and also finding agencies, etc. Do you have programs or agencies I can look into in order to optimize my efforts?
Just very quickly, it's a great question. I'm not sure who asked that because they're anonymous. Reach out because I know we're getting close to time here, to either to the Refersion team or myself. We have a lot of experience in that industry, and you're absolutely right. The rules are a little bit different depending upon the space that you're in. Sometimes it is a little bit harder, but again, there's some very successful programs out there that are tied to the firearm, especially if it's tied to education and safety. There's some programs out there that can be quite effective. So feel free to reach out, and the Refersion team and myself could absolutely dive a little bit deeper into that.
Yeah, we definitely have customers in Refersion who deal with firearms and that sort of thing. And Josh did point out that we are really at time, and I promised that we were going to respect yours. So thank you so much, everybody who joined us today. Thank you, Josh from Upsell It. Your perspective was super valuable today, and I learned a lot. Eugenia and Andre from Refersion, thank you. And thank you, everybody who joined us today. Have a wonderful afternoon, a productive week, and a fantastic weekend. And we'll see you next time.
Thank
you guys. Take care, everybody.